The moon hung silent and pale against the dark expanse of space, a sentinel that had watched over Earth for billions of years. In the research center nestled in the mountains of South Korea, Ji-yeon Park stared intently at the monitoring screens, her fingers tracing the unusual patterns dancing across the digital landscape. Something was different. The lunar surface, which had remained unchanged for centuries, was suddenly showing signs of movement. Tiny fractures began to spread like delicate spider webs across the moon's ancient surface, almost imperceptible but unmistakably real. Ji-yeon zoomed in on the images, her breath catching in her throat. These weren't natural geological shifts. Each microscopic line seemed to pulse with an energy that defied conventional scientific understanding. She had been studying lunar patterns for over a decade, and nothing in her extensive research had prepared her for this moment. Her colleague, Jae-sung Kim, walked into the observation room, a steaming cup of coffee in his hand. "Anything interesting?" he asked casually, not expecting the intensity brewing in Ji-yeon's eyes. "Look," she said, her voice barely above a whisper, pointing at the screen. The fracture lines were growing, spreading with an almost deliberate precision. They weren't random. They seemed planned. Within hours, the International Space Exploration Agency was buzzing with activity. Satellites were repositioned, high-resolution cameras focused on the moon's surface, and emergency meetings were called across global research institutions. The first official report came through just after midnight. The moon's crust was not just cracking. It was systematically breaking apart. Each fragment moved with a calculated grace that suggested something mechanical, something engineered. Governments worldwide began to panic. Military installations went on high alert. Some thought it was a potential asteroid impact. Others feared an unprecedented geological event. But Ji-yeon knew better. This was something entirely different. As the lunar surface continued to transform, strange energy readings began to flood their monitoring systems. Quantum fluctuations that shouldn't exist, electromagnetic pulses that defied current scientific understanding, and temperature variations that made no logical sense. "It's like the moon is opening," Jae-sung muttered, watching the live feed. His scientific skepticism was rapidly being replaced by a mixture of fear and extraordinary curiosity. By dawn, the first massive sections of the lunar surface had begun to separate. What once looked like solid rock was revealing itself to be something more, a complex, multilayered structure that had been hiding in plain sight for centuries. The research team worked relentlessly, capturing every moment, analyzing every data point. Ji-yeon hadn't slept in 36 hours, her eyes fixed on the screens, her mind racing with possibilities that seemed to challenge everything humanity knew about their celestial neighbor. Global communication networks were overwhelmed. News channels broadcasted the unprecedented event, showing live footage of the moon's transformation. People around the world watched in a mixture of terror and fascination as something extraordinary began to emerge. What was hidden inside the moon? What technology, what civilization, what incredible secret had been waiting all this time? The questions multiplied faster than the lunar fractures themselves. Ji-yeon noticed a pattern in the breaking surface. It wasn't random destruction. Each movement seemed calculated, each fragment shifting with a precision that suggested intelligence. This was no natural phenomenon. This was a deliberate, planned revelation. As the first massive structure began to peek through the lunar surface, Jae-sung whispered the words that would echo around the world. "We are not alone. And what's more terrifying, we might have always been prepared for this moment." The moon continued to crack open, revealing secrets that would change human history forever. And at the center of this extraordinary moment was a small team of researchers, watching in awe as the universe prepared to show humanity something it had never imagined possible. Something was awakening, something that had been waiting, silently and patiently, for the right moment to reveal itself. As the moon continued its extraordinary transformation, scientists around the world worked frantically to understand the unfolding mystery. Ji-yeon Park discovered something that would change everything they knew about human history. Deep within the lunar fragments, encrypted data systems began to activate. Strange algorithms, far more advanced than any current technology, started processing information that had been dormant for centuries. The team realized this wasn't just a structure. It was a meticulously planned archive of human survival. Old digital records began to surface, showing glimpses of a forgotten past. Generations ago, humanity had faced an existential threat, so profound that they designed an entire contingency plan using the moon itself as a massive preservation vessel. Each fragment contained not just data, but entire technological systems designed to protect human civilization. Jae-sung Kim decoded the first significant transmission. It revealed a shocking truth. Humanity had once been on the brink of complete extinction. An advanced alien civilization had nearly wiped out human populations across multiple star systems. Instead of surrendering, a group of scientists and military strategists developed an impossible plan. They would transform the moon into a hidden fortress, a living archive of human technology, knowledge, and survival potential. Billions of dormant spacecraft were carefully constructed and embedded within the lunar structure, waiting for a specific activation sequence. The preservation technology was beyond anything current scientists could comprehend. Complex quantum storage systems maintained entire technological ecosystems, keeping advanced machinery and artificial intelligence systems in perfect hibernation. Each spacecraft represented generations of human innovation, technological advancement, and pure survival instinct. As more data emerged, the team discovered that this wasn't just a defensive strategy. It was a carefully orchestrated plan to ensure human civilization could rebuild, even if completely destroyed on Earth and other colonies. The moon was essentially a massive seed vault of human potential. Quantum navigation protocols began activating automatically. Advanced AI systems came online, running diagnostic checks that had been waiting centuries to be executed. The technology was so advanced that it made current human systems look like primitive toys. Global communication networks struggled to process the incoming information. Governments worldwide realized they were witnessing something unprecedented, a technological resurrection planned generations ago by humanity's most brilliant minds. Jae-yun noticed something peculiar in the data streams. The activation wasn't random. Something specific had triggered this massive reveal, a predetermined threat or condition that matched protocols set centuries ago. The moon wasn't just opening. It was responding to a specific cosmic signal. Military analysts around the world began to understand the implications. This wasn't just a technological marvel. It was a complete reset button for human civilization. If Earth faced total destruction, these hidden systems could rebuild human society from scratch. The spacecraft emerging from the lunar structure were unlike anything humans had ever imagined. They weren't just machines. They were living technological organisms designed to adapt, survive, and protect human potential across multiple star systems. Artificial intelligence systems began communicating, revealing fragments of a complex plan that had been generations in the making. Humanity's ancestors had not just planned for survival. They had engineered a complete cosmic insurance policy. As more information became available, the scientific community realized that everything they understood about human history needed to be rewritten. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was a revelation about human potential, resilience, and the extraordinary lengths our species would go to ensure its survival. Jae-sung looked at Ji-yun, his eyes reflecting a mixture of fear and incredible excitement. "We're not just witnessing history," he said quietly. "We're witnessing humanity's greatest moment of preparation." The moon continued to transform, revealing layer after layer of technological complexity. Each fragment told a story of human innovation, survival, and an unbreakable spirit that refused to be defeated. Something massive was awakening, a testament to human potential that had been waiting silently for the perfect moment to reveal itself. And that moment had finally arrived. The lunar surface continued to break apart, revealing massive spacecraft that defied human imagination. Each vessel emerged like a metal giant awakening from a deep sleep, systems humming with energy that had been preserved for generations. Jae-yun watched in complete amazement as advanced AI systems activated across millions of interconnected ships. Complex quantum networks began synchronizing, creating a massive technological ecosystem that was both living and mechanical. The ships weren't just machines. They were intelligent systems with generations of programmed survival strategies. First, communication protocols activated. Billions of data streams began flowing between the spacecraft, creating a complex network that processed information faster than any human computer could comprehend. Each ship contained entire libraries of human knowledge, technological blueprints, and survival strategies developed over centuries. Propulsion systems came online with a low, powerful hum that resonated across space. The ships began moving with incredible precision, arranging themselves into defensive formations that suggested an advanced collective intelligence. They weren't random. They were organized, purposeful, prepared. Jae-yun noticed something extraordinary happening with the ship's external structures. Adaptive camouflage technologies began shifting and changing, allowing the vessels to blend with the surrounding space environment. These weren't just spacecraft. They were living technological organisms designed to survive and adapt. Weapon systems activated next. Quantum-based defense mechanisms emerged from hidden compartments, representing technological capabilities far beyond current human understanding. Energy weapons that could manipulate space-time, defensive shields that could deflect entire planetary attacks, and communication systems that could transmit information across multiple dimensions. The AI systems began running complex simulation scenarios. Generations of strategic planning were being processed simultaneously, evaluating potential threats and developing instantaneous response strategies. Each ship contained not just technology, but the collective strategic intelligence of humanity's most brilliant minds. Biological preservation chambers also activated. These weren't just spacecraft. They were complete survival pods capable of rebuilding human civilization from genetic archives. Thousands of hibernation units contained preserved human genetic material, ready to restart human populations if needed. Global monitoring systems detected the massive technological awakening. Military installations worldwide went on high alert, watching in a mixture of terror and fascination as billions of ships continued to emerge from the lunar structure. The most surprising element was the ship's collective behavior. They'd move like a single organism, communicating through quantum entanglement networks that allowed instantaneous information transfer. Each vessel knew its precise role in the larger survival strategy. Propulsion technologies defied current scientific understanding. Ships could potentially travel faster than light, manipulate gravitational fields, and navigate through dimensions that humans hadn't even theoretically conceived. These weren't just spacecraft. They were technological miracles. Jae-yun realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humanity's ancestors had not just prepared a defense mechanism. They had created a complete technological ecosystem designed to ensure human survival across multiple potential scenarios. The quantum communication networks began broadcasting encrypted messages. Fragments of historical information, survival strategies, and technological blueprints started flowing through global research networks. It was as if humanity's collective knowledge was being redistributed, preparing for something significant. Jae-yun noted that the ships seemed to be scanning the surrounding space, as if searching for a specific threat or signal that had triggered their awakening. Their movement was deliberate, calculated, suggesting a predetermined activation protocol. As more ships continued to emerge, it became clear that this was more than a technological awakening. This was humanity's ultimate survival mechanism, a cosmic insurance policy developed generations ago by scientists who understood that survival meant being prepared for anything. The moon was no longer just a celestial body. It had transformed into the most advanced technological platform in human history, a living, breathing testament to human potential, innovation, and an unbreakable spirit of survival. Something extraordinary was about to happen, and humanity was about to discover the true extent of its technological potential. The silence of space suddenly erupted with an unprecedented conflict. Strange energy signatures appeared at the edge of the solar system, signaling the arrival of an alien invasion force that humanity's hidden armada had been waiting to confront. Massive alien warships emerged from hyperspace, their metallic surfaces gleaming with technologies that looked both organic and mechanical. They moved with predatory precision, expecting to find an easy target in Earth's solar system. Instead, they encountered something they never anticipated. The lunar armada activated simultaneously. Billions of ships transformed from dormant structures into a perfectly synchronized battle formation. Quantum weapon systems charged with an energy that seemed to bend the very fabric of space around them. These were not just spacecraft, they were humanity's ultimate defense mechanism. First contact happened in milliseconds. The alien ships launched initial assault waves, expecting to overwhelm human defenses. Instead, the lunar fleet responded with calculated precision. Quantum-based defensive shields absorbed massive energy attacks, while adaptive weapon systems began targeting alien vessel weak points with surgical accuracy. Ji-Yun and Jae-Sung watched from the research center as human technology demonstrated capabilities beyond imagination. Ships moved like living organisms, communicating through quantum networks that allowed instantaneous strategic adjustments. Each vessel knew its exact role in the larger battle strategy. The alien invasion force consisted of multiple species, some mechanical, some biological, all technologically advanced. They had conquered numerous star systems, believing Earth would be another easy target. They were catastrophically wrong. Weapon systems that defied current scientific understanding began engaging the alien fleet. Energy beams that could disintegrate entire planetary structures, gravitational manipulation technologies that could crush enemy ships, and communication disruption signals that completely disabled alien technological systems. Within hours, the lunar armada demonstrated why humanity had survived multiple extinction-level threats. These ships weren't just technological marvels, they were living strategies of survival, each containing generations of human determination and innovation. Adaptive camouflage technologies allowed human ships to become virtually invisible, striking from positions the aliens couldn't predict. Quantum positioning systems meant each human vessel could be in multiple locations simultaneously, creating impossible combat scenarios for the invaders. The battle transformed from a conventional conflict into a multidimensional chess match. Human ships didn't just fight. They anticipated, manipulated, and strategically dismantled the alien invasion force with calculated precision. Biological preservation chambers within the lunar ships began preparing for potential scenarios. If Earth faced destruction, these vessels could rebuild human civilization using preserved genetic materials and comprehensive technological archives. Alien communication networks started to collapse. The human armada wasn't just defending. They were systematically destroying the invasion infrastructure. Each alien ship's destruction revealed more about their technological weaknesses, which the human fleet instantly analyzed and exploited. Jae-Sung noticed something extraordinary happening. The lunar armada wasn't just fighting. They were learning. Advanced AI systems were processing alien technological information in real time, developing countermeasures faster than the invaders could adapt. The conflict became a testament to human survival potential. Generations of preparation, technological innovation, and an unbreakable spirit of resistance were manifesting in this extraordinary moment. As the battle continued, it became clear that this wasn't just a defensive action. This was humanity's moment of cosmic declaration, a statement that Earth would not be conquered, that human potential was far beyond what any external threat could comprehend. Hours turned into days. The alien invasion force, which had conquered multiple star systems, found itself systematically dismantled by a force they had completely underestimated. Human technology, preserved and developed in secret, was proving to be the most formidable weapon in the universe. The lunar armada moved with a collective intelligence that suggested something more than programmed responses. This was a living, breathing representation of human survival. Adaptive, intelligent, and absolutely unstoppable. Space around Earth's solar system transformed into a battlefield that would be remembered across generations. Humanity was no longer just a species waiting to be conquered. They had become a force to be reckoned with, a civilization that could survive anything. The final stage of the conflict was about to begin, and humanity was ready. As the last alien ships disappeared into cosmic dust, a profound silence settled across the solar system. The lunar Armada had not just defended Earth, they had completely transformed humanity's understanding of its own potential. Ji-Yun watched the final battle reports streaming across monitoring systems. The invasion had been crushed with such precision that it seemed almost surgical. Alien technological systems had been completely dismantled, their strategic networks reduced to scattered fragments of digital memory. The human fleet began reconstruction operations immediately. Advanced AI systems started analyzing the massive amounts of technological data collected during the conflict. Every piece of alien technology became a learning opportunity, a chance to understand potential future threats. Quantum communication networks began broadcasting the battle's details across global research centers. Humanity was no longer just a planetary civilization. They had become a cosmic force capable of defending themselves against unprecedented threats. Jae-Sung discovered something extraordinary in the initial data analysis. The Lunar Armada's design wasn't just a defensive mechanism. It represented generations of human survival strategy, a complex system developed by scientists who understood that true protection meant more than just building weapons. Biological preservation chambers started their restoration protocols. Genetic archives began processing, preparing potential population reconstruction scenarios. These weren't just storage units, they were complete biological restoration systems that could rebuild human civilization from minimal genetic material. Global communication networks erupted with a mixture of celebration and disbelief. Governments worldwide realized that humanity had just survived an extinction-level threat through a preparation strategy developed generations ago. The Lunar Armada represented humanity's ultimate insurance policy. The spacecraft began reorganizing themselves, forming protective formations around Earth's orbital systems. They weren't just returning to a dormant state. They were establishing a permanent defensive infrastructure that would protect human civilization for generations. Technological transfer began happening automatically. Alien systems that had been captured during the conflict started getting integrated into human technological networks. Each piece of foreign technology became another tool in humanity's growing cosmic toolkit. Quantum data archives started processing the entire conflict, creating comprehensive strategic analyses that would help humanity prepare for potential future threats. The battle wasn't just a victory. It was a massive learning experience that would reshape human understanding of cosmic survival. Ji-Yun noticed something profound happening with the Lunar Armada's AI systems. They weren't just machines anymore. They had developed a collective intelligence that seemed to understand the deeper meaning of their existence: protection, survival, and continuous adaptation. Research centers worldwide began receiving massive data packages. Technological blueprints, strategic information, and comprehensive survival strategies started flooding global networks. Humanity was about to experience its biggest technological leap in recorded history. The remaining alien technological fragments became subjects of intense scientific study. Each piece represented an opportunity to understand potential cosmic threats and develop more advanced defensive strategies. Humanity had transformed from a potential victim to a sophisticated cosmic civilization. Jae-Sung realized that the Lunar Armada represented more than just a defensive mechanism. It was a testament to human potential, a living proof that preparation, innovation, and collective strategy could overcome seemingly impossible challenges. Global unity emerged from the conflict. Nations that had previously been divided now understood their shared cosmic responsibility. The battle had transformed humanity's perspective from planetary to universal. The quantum communication networks continued broadcasting, sharing the incredible story of survival. Future generations would study this moment as a turning point in human civilization, the moment humanity declared its cosmic significance. Biological restoration systems began preparing for potential population expansion. The genetic archives contain not just human DNA, but comprehensive biological adaptation strategies that could help civilization rebuild under various environmental conditions. As the dust settled, humanity looked different. No longer just a planetary species, they had become a cosmic force. Prepared, intelligent, and absolutely unstoppable. The lunar Armada had done more than defend Earth. They had redemonstrated the incredible potential of human survival. The universe had tested humanity, and humanity had passed with extraordinary brilliance.